Welcome to Sterile Processing Technician Certification course. We will be reviewing your online orientation and we'll be starting with your syllabus. So welcome to Nebraska Methodist College. You will have one or two instructors for your sterile processing course. Tom and Sheena will be with you in the classroom and at your clinical setting. My name is Rachel Montang and I will be the program manager for this course. If you have any questions, we'll address how to reach us. So Tom can be reached at either 402-913-4027 if you would like to reach him by phone, or you can email him as well. My phone number is 402-354-7101, or again, email as well. For myself, I am quicker to reach and get a response by email than by phone, just because I'm not always in my office. So this course is designed to prepare students to perform the function of a sterile processing technician according to the standards identified by the Certification Board for Sterile Processing and Distribution, which is the CBSPD. Sterile processing technicians are responsible for the cleaning, disinfection, sterilization, and inventory management. Students participating in this program are eligible to sit for the National Certification Exam upon successful completion of this course. One attempt is provided in the cost of the course. Students who are not successful in the first attempt would incur the cost of additional attempts to take that national certification exam. So some of the general course objectives are going to be apply the principles of infection control in the decontamination, packaging, and also sterilization of the equipment and instruments used. Perform decontamination procedures and practice for patient care equipment and surgical instruments. Prepare and assemble sterile packaging of instruments and patient care equipment. Demonstrate knowledge of the concepts, techniques, and processes of sterilization. Demonstrate knowledge of inventory control and distribution of those supplies. Perform roles and responsibilities in a competent, professional, and ethical manner. You will be provided with your course materials, including your textbook, your workbook, and also that study guide, which is all published through the CBSPD. So your workbook you will be utilizing at home to work on content that you'll be reading about not only online through the PowerPoints, but also through your textbook. You will be expected to bring this workbook each Saturday so you can go over the content and it will be checked. So please utilize that opportunity to bring that workbook each Saturday, as the points for the workbook are crucial in your success of this course, as well as understanding what has been talked about throughout the week when you're completing your online work at home. The study guide is something that's provided for you to really prepare yourself for that technician exam, which is that national certification. You can pick up your course materials, which again is your textbook, workbook, and study guide, at the college. So Nebraska Methodist College is located at 720 North 87th Street in Omaha. Our phone number, if you need directions or get lost, is 402-354-7000. Students enrolled within this course are responsible for all assignments, readings, and evaluations. Communication between the student and his or her faculty is key to success in this course. It's strongly advised that if an issue arises, the student seek out his or her instructor to discuss any questions or concerns. It is only once a student has had or attempted this discussion that the student may elevate the concern to the program manager. Nebraska Methodist College seeks to maintain a supportive academic environment for students living with disabilities. To ensure equal access to all educational programs, activities, and services, federal law requires that students with disabilities notify Nebraska Methodist College, provide documentation, and request reasonable accommodations. It is the student's responsibility to request these accommodations. It is only through the student's voluntary disclosure of disability and request for accommodations that Nebraska Methodist College can support the student's disability needs. For more information about how to request accommodations, please contact Lisa Flaherty, and her email is provided as well as her phone number, 402-354-7029. There are exams throughout your course. Possible points for these exams range from 12 to 59. The instrument exams are the in-person exams that you will have at your clinical session, and those range from 23 to 100. The workbook assignments are a possible points of 50 for each assignment. Your final exam is worth up to 100 possible points, giving you a total of 943 possible points for this course. An overall course grade of 75% or higher is required to pass this course. Again, in order to take that national exam, you need to pass the course, so that way we can show that you went through a course successfully in order to sit for the national exam. Clinical practicum attendance is mandatory. In the case of an unavoidable excused absence, the hours may be made up at the convenience of the clinical instructor within the specified time frame. The instructor or instructors must be notified 2 hours prior to the clinical in the case of an unavoidable absence. Students with one unexcused absence from clinical may be withdrawn from the program with no refund allotted. If you are going to be late for a clinical, you must contact the instructor in advance to notify him or her of your late arrival. It will be up to the instructor if you are allowed in the class that day due to the timing of the arrival of the class. If you are allowed to attend the clinical, any time you missed must be made up and is at the discretion of the instructor. Any work that was missed in the absence may result in a 0. So late coursework or exam policies. Assignments will be assigned with a due date, which will be considered the last day or time that assignment will be accepted. All assignments must be submitted by 11:55 p.m. on the due date. Any assignment submitted after a given deadline will generally receive a 0. There may be circumstances in which the instructor may allow a student to hand in an assignment and still receive up to full credit. This remains at the discretion of the instructor. Workbook assignments are due the day of clinical. If you do not show the instructor your completed workbook assignment, you will receive a 0 for that workbook assignment. The instructor and program manager will utilize the email address you provided for this course. It's very important that you check your email frequently. We recommend once a day, and that you are carefully reading through your emails, because that is how we correspond with you. Students are to use appropriate and professional etiquette when communicating with the college faculty, personnel, or any representation of the program, including clinical instructors. You will be changing into scrubs provided by the hospital at the beginning of each clinical session. When you arrive to the hospital for clinical, you can wear casual clothes and may want to bring something to pull your hair back or up. Closed-toed shoes are mandatory. You will be expected to wear your student badge, and that is provided for you by Methodist College. This badge must be turned in at the last day of clinical. If you do lose this badge or fail to turn it in, there is a $10 processing fee for the badge. For My Methodist questions or issues, concerns, contact the NMC Help Desk. You can reach them at 402-354-7008 or by email. If you need assistance after hours, which should be considered after 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday or over the weekends, email is the best form of communication. Responses do usually occur within 24 hours, And for more information, please see the NMC Syllabus Addendum. Clinical hours canceled by the college for severe weather or other emergencies will be rescheduled. It is up to the student and clinical faculty to reschedule missed clinical due to an absence when clinical was not canceled by Nebraska Methodist College. In the event that you do not feel safe to travel to clinical due to weather, please email and call the instructors to make them aware of your situation. Your syllabi contains additional information, so please refer to it online to read it in its entirety. The national exam is hosted by the CBSPD. You can access their website for questions. I would encourage you to go to the website, look it over. It does have the application, which will be provided for you during one of your clinicals. You will fill out the application, print legibly, so that way they can contact you. And then the CBSPD will contact you by email in order to set up your testing dates. So your coursework is listed in your syllabus. On the right-hand side, it will say assignments, and again, all the online assessments, coursework, tests, quizzes, everything online is due by the Friday before your clinical session at 11:55 p.m. I do encourage you to work on this early through the week, as you never know what your week will bring you. At 11:55 p.m., you will no longer have access to this work. So if you started at 11:15 p.m. on Friday and something happens, you get interrupted, your computer goes down, something like that, at 11:55 it will shut off and you will not have access. So any work that you had, you will get credit for, but you will get a 0 for the remaining part of it, which really could hinder your score. So I encourage you to work on this throughout your week and not save it until Friday. So to access My Methodist, which is where you are going to find all of your online work, you will visit methodistcollege.edu, and I've circled there My Methodist. That's where you will click to log into My Methodist. You will need to log in for this, and that is where your username and password will come into play. Each time you log in, you will need your username and password. Once you are logged in, you will find your courses. You should really only have one course that you are registered for, so it should be pretty easy to find access to your course. And just to reiterate, you will need that login information to access your student account, and you will have that content due by Friday, 11:55 p.m., and that will be every Friday before your clinical. If you have concerns with logging into My Methodist, you need to reach out to us to resolve this concern. You will have work due prior to your first clinical session, so again, it is important that you take that login information and log in right now to be sure that you can access it. And if you do have concerns or for some reason it's not working, that you are able to contact us to still give you enough time to complete your online assignments. Your first clinical session, you will arrive at the hospital and your instructor will meet you in the North Tower lobby. Again, it is located at Methodist Hospital, which is at 8303 Dodge Street. Your clinical starts at 9 a.m. and lasts until approximately 3 p.m. Please arrive early, especially on your first day, because you will need to know where to go to change and figure out where the classroom is. So when your instructor meets you in the North Tower lobby, please arrive by 8:45 so you are sure to be escorted where to go for your classroom and also to change. In the event that you arrive late, please reach out to your instructor by phone so that he or she can direct you on where to go. If you do become lost while driving to the hospital, please call the main number for Methodist Hospital so they can direct you, which is 402-354-4000. There is a parking lot directly across the street from the hospital that you can utilize to park. Please park on the upper levels so that way the closer parking is left for patients and visitors. So next you'll be shown an overview of My Methodist. So you're going to watch a video on how to navigate My Methodist. And then again, that is where you will access your online coursework. So please log into My Methodist using your username and password so you can be sure that you can access this.